Hi guys, a few days ago I covered an interaction between the head of Fine Gael, Simon Harris, and a member of the public that turned out to be a PR disaster. He has since apologised and claimed that he spoke to the lady in the clip and that they discussed the issues that concern her most. However, it seems Sinn Féin is benefiting from the fallout of one of the incumbent parties, and while it's highly unlikely that they will win a majority or even be the largest party, their leader is in a very favourable position. But will it be enough to get them into government?
Buoyed by the latest opinion poll, Mary Lou McDonald started the day surrounded by her frontbench team.
And I'm asking you to seize this moment, to seize the day. Vote with your hope.
She also defended Sinn Féin's affordable housing policy following a report in the Business Post that the party overstated the bank's willingness to lend to the scheme.
Our team have met with the banks on several occasions. The banks have set out what their requirements would be for any new scheme, and we are absolutely confident that we will meet those requirements.
And hit out at the Fine Gael leader's now infamous interaction with a disability worker in Cork.
I think people just got a glimpse of actually what it would mean for Fine Gael to be back in government with Fianna Fáil, because that's their approach. They don't listen, they don't respond. Yeah, I have a border colleague. Yeah, he's lovely. His name is Hugo, but we call him Hugs.
This afternoon it was onto the canvas in Swords.
Sometimes he wakes up at 2 a.m. and I stay awake from 2 a.m. and then I still have to do other things in the morning.
This woman spoke about a lack of services for her son who has additional needs. For others it was housing and the cost of living.
It's not feasible to stay here. My generation is gone.
From there it was on to Croke Park for the annual Senior Citizens Christmas Dinner hosted by the GAA for local residents.
Game, set and match to you. Hang on a second. Sanchez.
Hey Mary, happy Christmas.
Paul Quinn, Virgin Media News.
Okay, contrast this with the interaction Simon Harris, the head of Fine Gael, had a few days ago. Mary Lou McDonald is very good at interacting with people. She comes across as natural, she comes across as friendly, and I don't know if this is enough to convince a significant number of people to vote for her and her party, but it's good for the camera, it's good for PR. Now, there were two issues highlighted here which I think are going to be fundamental, that of housing and that of healthcare. And, I keep saying this, elections are referendums on the incumbent. So the incumbent party that seems to be suffering at the moment, and in the previous government there were two, there was Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael. The incumbent party that seems to be suffering is Fine Gael. And it's not just because of the interactions the leader had with members of the public. The public in general, it seems, are upset about housing and healthcare. And there are other issues as well, including immigration, but housing and healthcare are the primary ones. And all Sinn Féin have to do is say, we will change things. Their first interaction probably with the public is to ask, are you happy? Are you happy with the status quo? Are you happy what Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael have achieved? And most people will say no. And that's all they need to ask. Are you happy? No. Then, don't you want an alternative? Now, Fianna Fáil, the other coalition party that was in the government that is actually benefiting, it seems, from the failure of Fine Gael, they have said in the past that they would not go into coalition government with Sinn Féin. So on the surface, it seems Sinn Féin would not be able to get into government because they wouldn't win an outright majority. And the coalition partner that they would require to go into government with has already rejected that idea. However, I think it's one thing to say something before the general election, another thing when the rubber hits the road and you have to form a government. Because I think if there's a massive backlash against the incumbent, if people truly want change and they vote with their feet, then there'll be pressure on Fianna Fáil, both within the party and externally, to go into government with Sinn Féin. Because I think it's going to be uncomfortable for them to go back into coalition with Fianna Fáil, because Fianna Fáil will have taken a bit of a drumming, and I think it would upset a lot of people. Wait a minute, we had you guys on and off for 14 years. We don't want you again. We voted you out, or we voted one of you out. I think it would piss off a lot of people if they go back into coalition with Fianna Fáil. Now, Fine Gael, sorry. So it's more likely, I think, after the general election that they would go into coalition with Sinn Féin. Now, some people responding to this will say that's impossible, that's not going to happen, and maybe they're better in the know than I am. But I think the response, if it's significantly against the incumbent, there will be pressure on Fianna Fáil to get into government with Sinn Féin. And we could see, if Sinn Féin become the largest party in that coalition, Mary Lou McDonald will be the next Taoiseach. But we'll have to wait and see. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.